Hi everybody, this is Patrick back from the 8-Track Tape Store. We're doing a series on opening different types of tape cartridge styles, 8-track tape styles. And what we're going to work on now are two tab cartridges with these little rectangle holes at the top and at the bottom of the back of these tapes. These are Warner tapes. They're made by Warner Communications Company for their various record labels. This one is television. That's a nice tile. That's an Elektra Asylum Records tape. This one's an AC/DC tape for Atlantic Records. This is a decrepit Cheech and Chong tape with just a straightforward Warner Brothers label on it. They will often say manufactured by Warner Communication Company in a rectangular area at the top here. These tapes are pretty easy to open. I'm holding a tool. This is a special tool that we manufactured ourselves out of a steak knife from the kitchen, and this fits perfectly into these little holes and gives you the flexibility to open them pretty easily. You're not going to want to do that with a steak knife, I'm assuming, so I'm going to also show you how to open it the way most people do, with a big old kludgy screwdriver. This would probably be the biggest screwdriver that you have in your garage. Without further ado, let's take a look at, why don't we open the AC/DC tape. Again, there's tab here and there's one here. When you look in the hole, you probably can't see it on video. You'll see a large tab with a little space at the top towards the outer edge of the tape. That tab pushes inward towards the center of the tape, and so we'll do it like this. I'm going to put my tool in. Motion's going to be that way, the knife going towards the outer edge of the tape, which pushes this down. So it's going to look like this. And you can see that opened. There's a ledge kind of on the other side of the tab, and the tool often rests there. And if it doesn't open immediately, you can crack it open with your hands. Or you could use, if it's particularly tough, you could use a needle nose pliers and apply pressure this way. But this one opened fairly easily. I can finish it with my fingers. You hear a little snap there. Now I'm going to turn it around. And this tab, for this tab, we're going to put the tool in all the way. And we're going to push the handle towards the middle so that the edge is pushing outward, like that. And you'll see as we do that, there's a little gap forming here, and that's helping the tab separate from the other side of the cartridge. So sometimes it takes a couple of tries, and that did pop out pretty nicely there. Now I've turned the cartridge over so that the top's facing up. And you can see here's the contents of this tape. This tape's going to need a couple things done. I can see there's a new tab, or not a tab, but a new foam pad that's going to be required. You can see those get pretty decrepit after time. This also has a condition called a wedding cake, where part of the tape is spooled up. I don't know if you can see it. And it's created sort of a second layer. You have the normal layer down here where the tape should be, but a few twists of this tape have elevated themselves. And that's a common issue with these tape cartridges. It's easy to fix. We will show you how to do that in a different video. For now, what we're going to do is close this cartridge up. I'll work on it later. But I do want to show you how to close every cartridge. We'll put the pinch roller back on its post, loop the tape around. These cartridges have a little pin here, which is an advantage over the earlier cartridges that we made the last videos on. You loop the tape over there to the inside of this post, and that'll help prevent the top of the cartridge from coming out and smashing into the tape. By the way, you'll see me in these videos working with my fingers. When we do this for our own inventories and for our customers, we always have rubber gloves on. I don't like the idea of my, oils from my fingers transferring to tapes. It's not such a good idea. I also don't like the idea of magnetic and aluminum materials transferring to my own skin. So anyway, it's a lot easier though working with bare hands. So that's what I'm doing on the videos. So to close this tape, we've looped the tape over this little pin here. And the first part I want to put down is this end. I want to make sure I don't damage the tape by inserting this through the pin, that center area. Sometimes you have to wiggle it a little bit, but it'll come down and rest very nicely. And then I'm going to give it a little pat to do the front end down first and then the back end. So it's going to go like that and like that. And this tape has been shut properly. I'm going to show you now how to open the same cartridge type with a screwdriver. You're not going to have this tool probably. So what most people do is they get a big old screwdriver like this. And remember a rule of thumb that you want to use the biggest tool, the biggest screwdriver you can find that fits into holes on these cartridges. So we've used the medium-sized screwdriver. We've used a precision screwdriver. Here's the medium screwdriver. We use that on 3-tab cartridges. We use the precision screwdriver and 2-tab cartridges. And that's because those are the biggest screwdrivers that could fit. So with this cartridge, we can't open it with a big old screwdriver. Sometimes, in fact, quite often, it tends to dent and damage and mangle the pin and the surroundings on the cartridge. And I can see somebody before us open this nice television tape with a screwdriver, because if you zoom in on the video, you'll be able to see that the surrounding area here is kind of damaged. The tab inside might be damaged, I don't know. It's still closing. But the way we do that, it's similar to the knife. You're going to insert the screwdriver, hopefully the sharpest edge you can find, the better, so it can go up, above, and behind the tab that's there. And then we're going to push the handle that way and moving the tab towards the center, just like we did with the other tool. So we're going to insert this in here and start to push down. Now this screwdriver found the ledge that's behind it pretty easily. So what I should be able to do right now, this doesn't want to pop open easily. I can use this. So I'm going to put my my little needle nose pliers there, apply a little outside pressure. And although it made a ferocious snap, nothing breaks when you do that. And this is now open. Now we're going to turn to the other side. We can use the screwdriver as well. And we're going to push this into here. Just like that. The bottom edge of the screwdriver is moving towards the outside. The handle is moving towards the center. And we pop that open just the same way. So that's how we do it. I will close this up later because we've already done that. And what I want to do now, thirdly, is show you a different way to do it. What I just did is easy from experience. You will find as a beginner fixing 8-track tapes that you're going to break tabs on all sorts of different kinds of carts. You can do that on this one. You can mangle and damage your carts like we saw happened earlier in this television tape I just opened. There's a much easier way to open these cartridges, and it's an opening they added after these were first introduced. So I'm going to do it on this Cheech and Chong tape since I don't care about it. What we did on the other two tapes is we came through here, and that's the way we do it in our store. But for beginner, it's easier, honestly, to come through the opening that's on the top side of the label. This one's already been gone through. This will be, this opening here will be covered up by the label. You can slice it open a little bit with your knife. And when you do that, your screwdriver is going to insert through there, and then you're going to make the same motion towards pushing the bottom of the screwdriver towards the center, like that. And that's actually easier to open for a beginner. Trust me on that. You're going to turn this over and do the same insertion that we did before. And there, that tape is now open. And it's created a giant mess for us. So this is all going to have to be respooled, which is an operation that I will show you on another tape. So I hope you've enjoyed this, this video. And thanks again. This is Patrick signing out from the 8tracktapestore.com.